Hi, it's January the 4th, 2022, and this is your daily devotion. First of all, Happy New Year, and we are beginning to get back into the routine of a church and Bible study, and as we enter into this new year, the Wonderful Wednesday will be beginning on January 19th, and I'm going to be teaching again, which I've really missed. It's almost been 2 years, I think, since a regular in-person class that I've taught. And I'm going to be teaching one of my favorite books, Philip Yancey's The Jesus I Never Knew. And so as we wind up the Christmas season and prepare to go toward the new year, and this book that I'll be teaching, that I hope that you will purchase and read. I would, whether you take my class or not, you should read this book. I have been thinking about the way that we celebrate the birth of Jesus. This is something that Yancey begins with in his book. I mean, of course, the birth of Jesus would be a place that we all begin to learn about who Jesus is. And the fact is, very often in our depiction of Jesus' birth, we domesticate it a little bit, don't we? I began the devotion with beautiful footage of the snow, the beautiful snow that we had, and on many of the wonderful Christmas cards that I got, and thank you all for who sent Christmas cards. It's just a treat, isn't it, to go to your box and find Christmas cards. Very often our Christmas cards they're always beautiful, and there are scenes of serenity, messages of warmth and goodwill, of course, and love, homey, domesticated scenes of peace and joy. And, you know, even our church nativity scenes are that way, almost a domesticated version of the way that Jesus came into the world. Although I also showed Bobby's nativity scene at the beginning of this devotion, because I thought it was pretty cool that he did a scene that leaves open to the interpretation. What was it like? Well, Yancey points out that what we read in the Gospel of Luke, if we really read it with fresh eyes, it's not exactly the warm and fuzzy domestic scene of bliss and serenity that we often portray when we are honoring. Of course, we are honoring the birth of Christ, but it was kind of a scandal. I'll read an excerpt here. Christmas art depicts Jesus' family as icons stamped in gold foil, with a calm Mary receiving the tidings of the Annunciation as a kind of benediction. But that is not at all how Luke tells the story. Mary was, quote, greatly troubled and, quote, afraid at the angel's appearance. And when the angel pronounced the sublime words about the Son of the Most High, whose kingdom will never end, Mary had something far more mundane on her mind. But I am a virgin. Of course, the fact of her becoming pregnant prior to the consummation of her marriage officially was scandalous and dangerous. And we know this. We try to remember this in the church. But as another way of remembering this from the way that the story is told in the Bible, consider this. In a few months, the birth of John the Baptist took place amid great fanfare, complete with midwives, doting relatives, the traditional village chorus celebrating the birth of a Jewish male. However, 6 months later, Jesus was born far from home, with no midwife, no extended family, or village chorus present. A male head of household would have sufficed for the Roman census. Did Joseph drag his pregnant wife along to Bethlehem in order to spare her the ignominy of childbirth in her home village? Something to think about. And then, of course, there was the slaughter of the innocents by Herod. And so, again, in Yancey's words, Jesus, the Christ, entered the world amid strife and terror and spent his infancy hidden in Egypt as a refugee. Often a work of God comes with two edges, great joy and great pain. And Mary, in saying what she did ultimately after considering the angel's scary annunciation, Mary embraced both. She was the first person to accept Jesus on his own terms, regardless of the personal cost. Wow. Let us grow closer to Jesus as we dig deeper into the truth of who Jesus is now and forever. Have a great day.